Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Free Abundance. In today's live video, I'm going to be sharing some books. As you can see in the title, this is going to be a bit of a different book share. I did mention in a lot of my previous videos, stating, as far as my faith and all of those kind of factors, I am Muslim, and today I'm going to be doing an Islamic book haul. I have, over the last couple of years, shared my spiritual journey, a lot of books that I've been interested in. I do have some playlists that have a lot of books that I have read over the years. I have a huge collection of books that are in the topic of self-help, natural health and wellness, spirituality, the whole kind of holistic health and wellness topic in general. So I'm going to be sharing some Islamic books that I received, and I'm going to go ahead and open the package. So it came in a package like this from I believe this is DHL Express Worldwide. These did come from Saudi Arabia. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up here. So I had recently found a link for some books that I could obtain that were free. I selected 5 books that I wanted to read, and they sent them to me. So I'm going to share each of those books that I got. I'm really excited. I'm always looking for Islamic literature books, and it was nice to find these. They have them in English. They have them in various other languages. I do have another book that I will share here that I started with regarding Islam and being a Muslim, leading a Muslim lifestyle, all of those good things. So this is one of the first books that I did obtain, the New Muslim Guide. I've done a lot of studying through the Why Islam platform as well, so I have a lot of these pamphlets. I've gone through this book. There's lots of good information regarding how to raise your children, what the pillars of Islam are, the system of belief, all of the information that is pertinent to leading an Islamic lifestyle. So for these books, I'm going to share. And I love how it's packaged. It's very neat and organized. It came very quickly. It was very easy and simple. And I did have another channel that I was sharing a lot of my Muslim faith, my Shahada story, and things like that. However, I wasn't too big on having to operate 2 YouTube channels. So I'm in the transition period of fusing together my new faith and this channel. So there's going to be a lot of different topics that you will see here in regards to that. So stay tuned in the new year for kind of that fusion of topics that will arise. All right, so it looks like they gave here a little gift. Maybe this is a bag for the books. Let me take a look here. Okay, so this is another prayer rug. Oh, nice. So this is another prayer rug. I do have a couple of prayer rugs, so this is another one that I will be using as I am preparing for Ramadan again. I have celebrated Ramadan the previous year, and will be celebrating Ramadan again this coming new year. which I'm excited for, regrounding myself in my faith and getting back to the word of Allah. So that's what came in this little bag here. So I'm just going to put that back in there. All right, so these are the 5 books. Okay, so the first one here I got was the 2024 edition Dictionary of Religious Words and Expressions. I feel like it's really important when you are someone who does not understand Arabic to kind of understand the words that you're going to see and hear repetitiously and understand what they mean, the context that they're used in, and how it is understood in Islam. So this one is by Dr. Abdullah Abu Eshay Al-Malki, and this is in English. All of the books that I got are in English, but I believe they do also have Arabic on the back here. As you can see, there's Arabic written there. So there's a lot of really good words, and next to each word, you'll see the definition, and then it is also written in Arabic, which is nice. As I've been learning Arabic, I haven't got to writing Arabic yet, but I do know the basics of Quranic Arabic and speaking Arabic in conversation styles. So on the first page here, you'll see words that start with the letter A. So you'll see words like Adam's loins. You'll understand what Absalom means, admonish. Then it has it there in Arabic. And you can always look these words up. I'm always someone who uses the web-based platform WordHippo, and you can always figure out what any words mean. You can break it down by the subgroup of words, synonyms, antonyms, and you can figure out what these words mean. And this one has, it looks like, a little over 200 pages. So it looks like we've got 288 pages. And it does have a section here in the back that shares the family tree of Prophet Abraham, peace be upon him. So it will show you the family tree for him. It will show you the family tree for Jacob, peace be upon him. And it'll show you the family tree of Musa, Moses. So a lot of really good pieces in here just to understand who is connected to who and all of those sorts of things. So that's the first one. The second one here that I got was God and Christianity. What is his nature? And I think it's really nice to understand religion from kind of all perspectives, because overall, when we're talking about one true God, a lot of these stories run into each other and they have a connection. So I think that understanding Christianity and some of the differences in Islam, but you can also see the similarities in the storylines and understanding that Jesus is still connected in Islam as well. There's no anti-Jesus in Islam. So this is a really good pamphlet here. I do have some other books where it's like comparing and contrasting Christianity and Islam, and it's really good to understand, especially if you're someone who grew up in a Christian faith family and your understanding comes from Christianity and you revert to Islam, you kind of see that there's a lot of similarities in the stories that you'll be learning about. They did also provide some pamphlets here. So this one is in regards to a message to seekers of truth from a Muslim revert, clarity from confusion, and Dr. Jeremiah's spiritual journey. So just some good reads there. This one is Guarded. And this one states The Case for Islam as the Completion of Revelation by Dr. Lawrence B. Brown. This is the 9th edition. And it states here, following the first book in his series, the theological tsunami misguided author, religious scholar, and medical doctor Lawrence B. Brown provides a compelling argument in Guarded, The Case for Islam as the Completion of Revelation. Sifting through Judaism, Christianity, and Islam for truth in Revelation, we find such accurate, consistent, and undeniable parallels as to conclude that Revelation did not end with Moses or Jesus, and that both Old and New Testaments predicted a final prophet to follow Jesus. So this is just a book that kind of goes through, like it stated there, the parallel between all of these stories and how Moses and Jesus were not the last prophets throughout the faiths, so to speak. This next one looks like they gave a couple of extra books, which is nice. This one is called Misguided. And I think this is the same, but this is the 10th edition. So this is the 9th and 10th edition. So that's really nice to go from consecutive number editions. So this one is a roadmap of guidance and misguidance within the Abrahamic religions. So it states here, the world is fraught with religious conflict. I'm just going to read the first part here just to kind of give some clarity on what this book will entail. So this one states the current political climate is one of fear of the unfamiliar, and fear of violence in the name of God. The clash of these situations begs our attention and demands rectification. As an introduction to comparative religion and as a metaphor for peace, author and physician Lawrence B. Brown follows his historical and religious thriller, The Eighth Scroll, with a theological tsunami in which he analyzes the scriptural foundations of the three Abrahamic faiths of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. This is not a my religion is okay, your religion is okay book, but a full speed ahead, take no prisoners, search for absolute and uncompromising religious truth. So that's what you're going to find in this one. This one here that I selected is about women's rights, a historical perspective. This one is by Professor Abdullah Al-Qahtani. And I'm going to read on the back here. As discussed in this book, the miserable state of millions of oppressed women all over the world, including the West, reveals the hypocrisy of many women's rights organizations towards their real issue. The book also provides a comprehensive research between women's rights in Islam and in the doctrines and practices of some prominent religions. So as a woman, I think this is a really important book to read through and understand, especially if you're a female revert to the faith, understanding what your rights are, understanding what responsibilities a man has before he can have your hand in marriage is very important. a lot of people don't understand that Islam is not a faith where you can just freely date whoever you want, talk to whoever you want. There are parameters and guides that have to be put in place before you even seek out marriage with another Muslim man. So I believe that is something that is really honorable, I find, in Islam, is that, we're not allowed to speak to men. We're not allowed to have friendships with men. We're only allowed to speak with, a third party if we are interested in seeking marriage with someone. So there is no fornication. There's no, westernized ideology of what relations look like, which is a very honorable thing to understand as a woman. The next one that I picked was the Muslims' Basics in Belief and Worship. And I always want to understand my faith more and more as time goes on. I've been in the Muslim Ummah for a little over a year now. So this is my second Ramadan that I'll be celebrating this year. So there's definitely still a lot for me to learn. There's a lot of room for me to grow in my salah, and raising my daughter under the, Islamic faith and understanding what her life is going to look like. So I'm always looking for good reads, and I've also gone and took courses through the, let me see, there was a platform where I took some courses learning Islam, and I forget the name. Let me find it here. But I learned a lot about what Aqidah is, which you'll see in this book as the first topic. What is Aqidah? And so on and so forth. So let me double check the name one more time for the schooling platform that I went through. They are based out of Saudi Arabia, and they have a lot of really good courses that you can go through for free. And you just have to enroll in the program during a certain time period in order to get access to the courses. So yeah, it's Zad Academy. So I did attend Zad Academy for a few months. I got really busy with work and my life and, kind of navigating through my faith. So I took a break on it. There was so much that I was learning. I was involved, locally in a lot of my faith centers, courses, and learning Arabic and doing all of these things. And I began to get overwhelmed with all of the overload of information. So I had to kind of take a seat and relax for a minute, because there's so much to learn when you become, a part of this faith. So I'm definitely trying to pace myself and learn at a good pace. So this looks like a really good book. It's very informative. There's a lot of writing spaces. I feel like when you're learning your faith, or a new faith, so to speak, it's good to have some writing space to kind of list down some of your thoughts and, just contrasting from whatever faith you came from before and understanding it through Islam, because you're really reborn into a new faith and you're like, a baby who is experiencing a new world. So that's going to be that one. And this one is written by Dr. Yahya Salman Al-Bahith. And let me see here. I didn't see how many pages there were. This one has 172 pages. So this is a pretty good read overall. And this is the second level. So I will need to try to find level 1. Oh, and I do have level 1. Okay. So this is level so this is the second level, and it looks like I've got the first one here, which is good. So this is the first level. So yeah, you'll be going over, like I said, what Aqidah is, Tahara, Salah, what Zakah means, a lot of things that I have already learned in this book. So it's nice to kind of be learning at the same pace that I've been learning through my other tools. So these are the other two that I have here. So I'm really excited for these. Like I said, I'm excited to re-prepare myself for this Ramadan and regrounding myself in my faith and just growing closer to God and living a wholesome life is my ultimate goal. So these are some really good books. If anyone is interested in learning where you can find clothing, modest clothing for yourself, for your children, books for them, reading materials, I definitely have a lot of resources. So you can drop a comment below and I can leave some links where you can find credible sources of information. As I stated in a lot of my other videos, even for other topics in terms of, cultural based learning, I'm always finding things that are credible sources. They're not just fake websites. I'm very good at finding things that are credible information. So I can definitely provide that for anyone who would appreciate that. But that's going to be it for today's live. I wanted to kind of discuss more what you'll see here on my channel. As I stated before, I do have a playlist of, all of those years of my spiritual journey and how I went from understandings of Hinduism and Christianity and all of those things, and then finally kind of setting my seeds into Islam in a more permanent status. So you'll definitely see a lot of different information that I have gathered over the years, and I will definitely be sharing this new journey on my channel here as much as possible. So give this video 2 thumbs up, comment, subscribe to my channel for more DIYs, recipes, and reviews. Thank you so much for watching.